a very sloppy genocide that's happening, because people, I mean, if you go to Fallon's Daily Toast Facebook page and just look at one of the latest toasts, it's just a 2 or 3 minute short piece when Shala and Faramsa were on the show, and we showed you a 3-minute video from Human Rights Watch. It was a compilation of different videos that were taken of the torture that the Oromo people are going through. And so that is something that's been happening for many years. And why is it that we think that we can stop genocide from happening? What makes us different? Why is it that we're going to, by talking about it, what is it going to do? It's going to make you aware, folks tuning in at home live right now, and folks tuning in. Genocide is no good. Any sort of murder and torture of people to exploit, to take resources is not good. It is not moral, and we do not believe in that. I do not believe in that. So what do you think, Shala? I'm just, this is all so much, you know?
You know, Oromo people have shown how peaceful they are, despite the genocide. None of the Oromos are responding in a violent way. None. The Oromos are only getting killed. They're not killing anyone. Because, as you have seen, but many of you probably might have, Fayisa Lelisa, the athlete.
Yes, the athlete.
He has shown a peaceful gesture, arm over head. That is a peaceful gesture.
Yes.
That is just simple, no killing. That is all it was about. He has shown it. That peaceful nation has never been found on earth. Apartheid in South Africa, people were armed. It was fight. It has never been peaceful. Gandhi herself said, people can arm themselves if necessary. But none of the Oromos advise each other to arm. We have been peaceful. One of the things that I would like your viewers to know is Oromo people are peace-loving, and they respect the United States and world leaders and the national community. Because we know the national community does not like conflict. That is who we are. But despite such a peaceful movement, there is a Somali guy, I mean his name was Muhammad Ada something, he put on Yahoo and through Voice of America that Oromos are slaughtering people. Oromos are not slaughtering any. They are getting slaughtered by the Al-Shabaab, which is secret name Al-Shabaab, or Somali Liu Police. They call it Somalia Special Force. That means it's just Al-Shabaab.
And I want you all
and
to know...
Tigray government is behind that. They're the one doing it. We know they cannot manipulate us anymore. We cannot make this happen in the 21st century. We are going to stop them from just lying. Now they're going to come up as a good broker and say, look, the Oromos and Somalis are having conflict. Then we are the good mediator. Remember, thanks to President Trump, he cut funding. they have limited funding now, okay? President Trump...
Something we can thank Trump for.
Oh yeah, we should thank him for that. I mean we should really. And plus, he did not consider them as a legitimate government. Never invited them to the White House. Instead, he invited Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of Egypt, because he know that it was a democratically elected government. So now this time they are mad. This is it. You know, desperate people do the desperate thing. That is what they're doing. The last resort they can do is send the neighboring country to kill the Oromos and make sure that Oromos are bad people and they are not peaceful. They're making they have a conflict with the neighbor, and the Tigrayans now will come as a good broker to make a peace. Hey, we are the only peace-loving. We are the only good leaders. We can make peace between them. Let me ask you the question. If you are the leader of the country and your country is invaded as a government, whose responsibility is it to save the country from invasion? It's a government's responsibility. Now, when the Oromo people are invaded in their own home, the Tigrayans government are just sitting back and watching, because they already sent those Somalians to kill the Oromos and evicting them from their own house. And they enjoy this, because They already hired the people to read on media making that Oromos are bad people. And now this time they might think President Trump will consider them as a legitimate government, and President Trump will invite them to the White House. This is a wishful thinking, which is not going to happen.
It isn't, and I also want to let all of you know that are watching on all platforms right now that.
And also, they heard that President Trump is backing the Oromo Nation, and there is a speculation that he's planning to speak to the Oromo Brigadier Generals, who has worked for the United Nations peacekeeping, who still has respect from United Nations, European Union, U.S. government. So the Tigrayans heard that speculation. Now they're just trying to destabilize peace in the country and to make themselves better than the Oromos. Then they can come between Oromos and Somalis and make, hey, look, we can make a peace. We can be a good government. That is not going to happen.
No, because
they cannot keep manipulating the world.
Well, no, because in the meantime, all of the media that we're getting back, so as part of your Oromo Nation media team, we are receiving every day hundreds of awful videos and photographs of people just cut up, slaughtered, hurt, murdered, bleeding from every kind of place in their body. You know, it's like, it's, you know, some of the worst stuff that I've seen in my life is what's happening right now to these people. So this is a very powerful movement because there are so many people that are losing their life and that are peaceful people,
and we're getting a lot of personal videos of people suffering and dying, and even people who've been burned and tortured by the Tigray government. And not only that, but we are receiving messages from refugees from many countries who are Oromo every single day, hundreds and hundreds of messages, and they're telling us their stories about what's happening and how they need help, and we're working to help.
Especially Oromo refugees in Somaliland right now. Imagine what is happening. They're getting killed. Every day they're getting killed. I do receive dead bodies, as you guys have seen it. It just keeps coming up. I just don't want to post that kind of thing. Like, they keep sending it to me. So there are other activists who are posting it, you know, this kind of stuff. But I don't want to, because a lot of viewers are Americans, and they graphic, some of them don't even want to watch that kind of stuff. That's why I don't want to post it. There's a lot of stuff coming up. But how is it going to end up now? We don't know.
How do we want it to end up? How do we want it to end up? We want the Oromo to take power back for themselves. We want there to be inclusive governance. We want there to be human rights. We want there to be people that flood, United Nations, caala, so we want to go to Ethiopia. We want to help to repair and rejuvenate and bring back, you know, what was taken from the Oromo.
And we want to, you know, end the genocide.
End the genocide.
We want to stop the arms shipments to the Tigray government, and we want the finances to freeze for the Tigray government so that they can no longer use that money on military spending and no longer oppress the Oromo people.
What is so amazing now is, was it on Tuesday when we were at GFK Forum?
Yes.
And when I asked the question that genocide is happening, did anybody oppose?
Nobody opposed.
Look, Chief of Staff for President Bush, a Chief of Staff for Bill Clinton, and Chief of Staff for Barack Obama. 3 of them. They agreed that genocide is taking place. Why don't they take action? Why don't the government take action? And now these guys are not on power anymore,
but they still have power, and they are able to sway and show power.
Why?
I was really impressed by the Senator Rauschenbacher, who made a very clear statement about the U.S. I'm not sure exactly what state.
I'm not entirely sure, but we did hear him on our video previously with you, Fallon, and
I wonder. I think he's US, California.
And U.S. Congressman, he spoke out against the genocide and spoke exactly about what we're talking about.
But you
how
know,
there's funding from the U.S. to the Tigray, and they're using it for military
Was
reasons.
that when Obama was in power?
Yeah, this genocide started under Obama administration. You know? I mean, under Clinton administration, there was genocide in Rwanda. Under Bush, no genocide. Under Obama, genocide against the Oromo in Ethiopia. Why, despite all immigrants voted for Democrats, and then when they come into power, if I know that's one way of making money, because you have to sell more bullets, more guns.
Yeah, it's a big moneymaker.
Yeah, that.
One of the biggest exports in the United States is weaponry, bullets and guns.
Yeah, I mean they're in the wrong side of history, you know.
Yes,
I mean,
they are the wrong side of history. We are the right side of history.
As a human rights activist, that is, we don't really support that making money through the gun, you know.
Mm-hmm. No,
that is the job of the Democrats when they get into the White House.
Well, and that's why it's so important, together. We're
together with you.
Only together can we make a difference.
Yeah.
And so when we go to Washington, D.C., we're going to be talking to congressmen who have the power and influence to change things. They're already in the process of writing a bill to address this issue in Ethiopia and to potentially stop the genocide happening. There's going to be the first bill, and then after that, they would pass the second bill. It would have to go to the House. It would have to pass in the Senate and the House. So that's what we're going there for, to advocate on behalf of the Oromo people in Ethiopia, so that our government will pass legislation to stop the genocide.
Well, the three Republicans are usually good in human rights case, but the senator from Tennessee and senator from Arizona, which is not John McCain, and the senator of Oklahoma, which the Oklahoma senator was the one who blocked the resolution last time. But Marco Rubio is a good supporter. I think they're bringing it back to the table again. So what we need is senator of Tennessee, Texas, Arizona, and Oklahoma. If these three senators pass this resolution, at least that will bring some light to, at least this resolution, by the way, means Ethiopian government must respect human rights. That is a resolution. How can you block that resolution? Unless you are, they, on Tuesday they said they have different kind of democracy. Do you remember the response?
Yes, I do. They were diverting. They didn't want to answer.
When I asked the question, what kind of how does democracy work, and they said we have a special type of democracy. I like that they're being honest.
And so it's very important. Please, we're going to be streaming and live streaming as we go to Washington, D.C., and as we talk to different people. And so we want you to be with us and to offer, give us advice, give us questions that you want us to ask.
Yeah. It's really important that you're a part of this just as much as we are, because I guess I can answer my own question is all these genocides for all these hundreds of years, let us all try to put an end to it. All these people being displaced, it's unnecessary. And even if they are displaced, let us welcome them with whole heart. These refugees, they are us, we are them.
Yeah, we want help by going into oromo.org and sign the petition.
Yeah, sign the petition.
To end the genocide.
Yeah.
That's one way of helping. If they can donate, if they have the capability to donate, that's good.
And it's you,
if they can't,
oromo.org.
Sign the petition.
Yes, please sign the petition. Just, wake up, look into it, do your work. Even it's the littlest of thing. We're not asking much of you, but just understand what's happening.
Yeah, so it's very important to sign the petition so we get the word out and we get the word before Congress. Please join us September 30th through October 2nd.
Yes.
Because we're going to be going to Congress in Washington, D.C.
Going live.
So please join us. We're going to be live streaming, and we want your ideas and your thoughts. So please, share with us what questions you want us to ask. Also, in the future, we're going to be going to Minnesota, and we want to meet with the Oromos in Minnesota.
Beth Hodges is one of the mayor, and I believe it's Minneapolis, and Minnesota is one of the states in the United States that has taken in 40 to 50,000 refugees that have fled Ethiopia since, for the last 10 years. Not only just Ethiopians, but Somalians, Yemen. There are people coming from all over the world and that have fled to Minnesota, and they have a resettlement program that's actually quite progressive and pretty amazing. So we're going to go talk to people that are, executive directors within the resettlement program, and also mayors and, just aldermen and people in places of power that are really also behind what we're doing.
And that's going to be a very important step. So when we come to Minnesota, please join us either in person or with live stream. We want to really connect and make a difference and talk to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's awesome.
We love the Oromo people. So just keep hope in your heart, because we're watching you. We see what's happening, and with our power combined.
Yeah, I think Voice of America must apologize to the Oromo Nation for the false news that they reported from individuals who was not credible enough to give information, who put Oromo people as the people slaughtering Somalis. This is the news strategy that was strategized by the Tigray government. And the Voice of America, such a big news media, reading that out to the public, that means another war against the people who are already dying. None of the Oromo killing nobody. Oromos are only getting killed. They're not killing anybody. They are peaceful, unarmed, peaceful. And this Somali guy put on a newspaper and sent it to the Voice of America, and one of Voice of America, which is fake news, fake news. And they just want somebody to click on them. That's all they care about. And they put that to the public because that is a strategy the government has made. And Yahoo, which actually is fake news, 100 killed, 200 injured. When you click on it, no one killed, 200 injured. That's how fake news Yahoo too. So they publish the same thing out there. So, which, it's not good for the Oromo nation. Such unarmed people and people, empty-handed people, only asking for peace and freedom and equality, being leveraged as such in Voice of America, passing that kind of message is kind of ridiculous.
I just want to thank you both for stepping up and doing this. It takes a lot, and I never would have known about what was happening if it weren't for the two of you. So
how would you? Because the Tigray government has put a lot of Americans like you not gonna know what is happening because the media is not covering it, and they're just blocking out of the Oromo people are put under a shadow of religion and extremism, which Tigray government has appointed and labeled Oromo as. And then the media, only those who are on power has the voice out. Whatever the government says, that's what the people believe. So that's all about it. And hopefully, what I can assure that they cannot manipulate President Trump. President Trump is not easy. The Tigrayans cannot manipulate him, but they are trying. The State Department this time is different. See, under Obama administration, the State Department 100% backs the Tigray government. 100%, calling Oromo people violent. You armed like this, disarmed like this, and you get killed, and say they call you violent. The State Department under Patricia Walsh, Oromo considered as a violent people. But this time, after Rex Tillerson took over State Department as Secretary of State, that kind of speculation is down. But this administration is doing at least some progress.
Well, and the big thing is that we want to work with both Democrat and Republican. This is not a political thing. We want to end the genocide, and we're going to work with anyone who is going to work with us to stop the genocide. So we call on our Democratic senators and our Republican senators, and we want to work with everyone to make a change. Because this genocide is not acceptable, and it needs to be denounced by the UN and the world community.
Yes.
By the way, my Facebook viewers are, there are people who have a direct connection with President Trump. President Trump, if you go to real Trump, which has a mark, it is on my Facebook, so he gets direct message. When we talk about, if he has time, he probably is listening. But even though he has a lot of things, so not only him, people who are connection with him have a direct connection with us. So they're hearing it. We do hear that there is some, backdoor discussion going on about the Oromo nation.
Yes.
They want to bring solution. Thank you so much. This is a nice opportunity.
Yeah, it's such a nice opportunity. And thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for sitting with us and being patient and listening to what we had to say. It's important, and if you could also just share what we're doing, it would be really greatly appreciated. Our intention is, as Ramsa said, to end genocide right now that's happening in Ethiopia to the Oromo people. So, just
Thank you so much for being here and for standing with us, because
Thank you
together,
so much.
only together can we actually make a difference.
yeah.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you so very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a gorgeous evening. May love and peace and